Hey guys, Vatican again. Welcome back to more Steam Saturdays. Last week, to look at my calendar, I played Gone Golfing. In this episode, I'm here playing Disturbed. Let's go ahead and get this started. Okay, so I'm gonna inspect the supplies. Alright, I'm gonna save real quick. Hit that one right there. You walk about the room, browsing through a dust-covered storage. You find some rope in one of the boxes. It feels strong to the touch and has minimal wear. You decide to take the rope. Alright. The door behind me. Let's try the right door. You enter a small room. There is a large cauldron in the center of the room with wood resting beneath. There is nothing on the shelves, as if someone cleaned this place out. You look into a pot but find nothing in it. With nothing else to do, you exit the room. So the door on the right's a bust. How about the door on the left? You enter a small room with a large hole in the wall. There are other objects in the room, but none of them interest you. Go back. Try the middle door. You enter a room full of metal cages. Before you is a hallway marked with questionable markings. You don't like the feeling you have about this place. Whatever was in these cages surely did not like to be locked up. You notice that there's an animal in a cage on the left of the room, but from the dark stains of the fur, it is dead. You cautiously walk down the hallway, entering a room with 2 cell doors. Before you can do anything, a large hound leaps in front of you. The beast doesn't look very vicious, but one wrong move could surely be the end of you. Realizing that you are not prepared for a moment like this, you slowly back away towards the other room. To your dismay, the dog follows your every movement. Before you can do anything, the dog leaps forward at you. You don't survive long and die a painful death. Your venture ends here. Oof. Let's go ahead and try that again then. Alright, got some rope. I enter the door behind me. You walk up the steps. You enter a large room. The air is pollinated with dust and spider web covers the walls and ceilings. Where should you go now? I'm gonna... the far door? The door struggles to move you, but you enter to what appears to be a spider's den. The air is thick and the room is a mess of web and body parts. You notice that there is a couple items in the room that could be useful. If nothing else, there's a key on the ground that you will no doubtly need. Before you can even act, a large spider falls from above. You have no doubt that it's hungry. Without hesitation, the spider attacks you. With nothing to defend yourself, the spider quickly bites you. You begin to lose feeling all over your body and everything goes black. Your adventure ends here. Okay. So, let's try going to the door behind me again. Walk up the steps. And then... let's go outside? Standing before the tower, your heart begins to sink. There's no doubt the birthplace of a spreading plague. There's a fountain before you with statues to your right and left. Oh, right, that's not what I wanted to do. Enter the tower. You approach the door. You reach for the doorknob. An invisible barrier stops you. It must be some kind of magic. You see an odd statue of an angel that has been consumed by vines of thorn. The angel is holding a book in one hand, the other with one finger pointed up to the sky. You feel it's best to leave the statue alone. Inspect the fountain. There's a dark haze about the fountain. The water is black and the smell burns with every breath. You feel a slight pull towards the fountain as if it were calling for something. Inspect the statue on the right. Before you stands an old statue that is broken in many areas. With one hand, the angel is holding some sort of bowl, while the other hand is hovering over the bowl. You notice that there was only 2 remaining fingers on the angel's other hand. You feel you should keep your distance and just observe the statue. Exit the gated area, and now we're back outside here. So that means... hang on. Quick load. Oh, oof. Oh, oof. Skip. Hang on, load. Let's go back in here, back into the building. Here we go. Door behind me. Alright, now let's go upstairs. Next. You discover what looks like a private library. There's a passageway before you with bookcases on the left and right. Browse the books. You take a moment to look at the books. Some of them catch your eye. Rituals of the Ancients. You flip around till something grabs your attention. Pillars of Stone. Years before current times, there were unique religious practices that revolved the stone edge. It is said these stones are lined up in a special way and often organized in a particular pattern. Organizing the stones this way unlocks an ancient power researchers still have trouble understanding. In the middle of the circle would be a stone or two of the keystone to rest on. This is a great mystery of this ancient practice from ancient records. It is written that the energies from the surrounding stones channel the power of the keystone. You stop reading because the next page of the book has been torn out. Deception by music. There was a bent page marking a section of the book. You turn to it. The art of charming is not necessarily limited to the instrument, but how the musician goes about playing even given instrument. Some are definitely easier to use than others, and for a skill such as this, there are a few instruments recommended. The harp is one of these recommended instruments. From vicious dogs to shy unicorns, the soothing voice of a harp can calm the troubled heart. Of course, not all creatures can fall for this simple trick, but it can mean the difference between life and death in some situations. A forgotten power. Flipping through the pages, there is one particular that has ink markings all over it. Raw energy is a powerful substance not to be trifled with. It is merely a myth, and such dangers exist. One does not simply stumble upon a pillar of godly power. Even if such a fate is yours, bare hands cannot contain the force. It must be bent and channeled into a specialty crafted vessel to carry it. There have been accounts across times of individuals passing such power. Although they pass away in sand, their relics of power remain as powerful artifacts that nations around the world would fight for. Leave. Move forward. You walk up more stairs. You pause as you notice a stone carving of a person praying that is attached to the wall. There is something odd about it, but you can't put your finger on it. With caution, you continue upstairs. You enter a strange room with a large globe centered about the room. There are windows that let a light shine through. You notice that there is a chest resting against the wall to the right. You also notice that there is another passageway than the previous room. I'm going to open the chest. Approaching the chest, you notice there is a lock fastened to it. With no key to unlock the chest, you decide to leave it alone. Inspect the globe. Quick save. You study the globe attached to the floor's surface. The craft is made of metal, and there is a fine detail in the grooves. There's various markings of names scattered across the globe. You take a moment, but you find a marking of where you are, Aramor. You notice that there are some hand-drawn markings on the area made with black ink. There must be something close by that has interested the author of these markings. To add to the mystery, there are several markings on either area around the globe. Continue forward. You climb the stairs to find a wall ending your path. Above the end stairway is a hatch. Open the hatch. You open the hatch and pull yourself up. You have made it to the top of the tower. Before you is a stone of power resting upon the altar of rock. Dark vines have entangled the structure as if they were feeding off energies of the stone. Your body begins to tremble as you stand before the stone. You definitely feel weaker being up here, as if stone is sapping away your energy. Destroy the stone. This may be your only chance. You approach the stone and grasp onto it. You lose sight and feeling immediately as your hands become glued to the stone. Your life is drained from your body. Only bones remain to testify of your death. Your adventure ends here. Okay, so not the stone. Go to the left door this time? Alright. Continue on. You move forward into the darkness. You see separate paths which the walls of the cavern. Which path do you choose? I'm gonna go on the right. The passageway divides you, but where do you go? The right? The passageway soon ends with a large mushroom sitting in front of you. A steady river of water flows beneath you in the mushroom. Go back. I don't trust the mushroom. Go left. You walk forward into the dark, unsure of what lies beyond. Two paths. Which way do you go? The right? You make your way forward. You discover a large cavern. An old-looking ship rests against the edge of the lake, with debris scattered around the surrounding area. Inspect the ship. You cautiously walk down toward the ship. The air is chilling and you fear it won't be a good idea to stay long. The possibility of discovering something that can help you drives you to explore. You climb aboard the ship. As you take a moment to observe your surroundings, you are only welcomed by the trickle of water pushing against the wood of the ship. You move about to see where you can go. Every footstep you take feels heavy as you hear a sound of wood cracking under your feet. You feel the ship has been here for quite some time. You explore under the deck of the ship. Nothing but sound of your footsteps bounce about the structure of the ship. From one room to another, you came to discover a kitchen. Although there's nothing unique about it, you feel as if you should take a moment to inspect the drawers. You pull out one after another, finding that they have been empty. Dust spreads about the air as disturb the rest. Checking underneath, you discover a rusty knife resting on the floor, and you find that there are plenty of hardened rat droppings dotting the edge of the wall. You take the knife in hopes that you may defend yourself with it. Inspect the oven. You see a lone pot sitting up against the dusty stovetop. You gaze downward and open the oven door. Nothing but ash filled the oven chamber. You close the oven door. Move on. You continue your lonely tour of the ship, only to find that there is nothing of use of value. You make your way back onto the deck and decide to continue your search. Again, you find nothing much but empty rooms left to remaining in the dark solitude. You discover a door with fancy markings about the woodwork. Perhaps this is where the captain resided. You discover a room with the captain unlike the other parts of the ship. Everything seems to have been left alone in this room. Before you rests an old wooden desk with papers and assumed belongings of the captain. There is a small bed near off to the corner of the room and some chairs in the other. You have a feeling deep down that you shouldn't take anything other than the lamp and some other objects. There is a small stack of papers in contrast to a lone paper resting by itself. Approaching the desk, you begin to inspect the papers resting on the desk. Stack of papers. Peering about the pages of this collected pile of documents, you realize that most of these are personal notes or journal entries. You pick a few and begin to read. Day 7. The voyage has gone quite smooth as we begin our second week away from home. The spirits of the man are high as we anticipate the discovery of new lands that lie beyond our documented knowledge. It has been my dream to accomplish something world-changing together. We move forward with the full hearts and unbreakable spirits. Day 66. It has been just over 2 months out at sea, and we have yet to discover anything new. We have suffered through many storms, and sickness has plagued our ship recently. Several of my favorite crew have passed on to the next life. I see a growing doubt in the eyes of my fellow laborers as our voyage continues day after day. Food rations have been cut in half and fears that we may have to turn back. I dare not let myself think of failure. Those men who have lost their lives, the sacrifices to make this voyage possible, I cannot let them be in vain. Day 91. It has come to roughly 3 months out here on the endless blue. With much pain, we have turned around. Yes. We are headed for home port. We have just enough food to make it back. I just hope we have a smooth journey back. The spirits of the crew are low and bitter due to our failure. I do not let myself get caught up in thinking of it. Truly, we did not intend for this to happen. The loan document? Notice to the crew. Due to our unexpected predicament, everyone is being split up into groups of 2 and 3. Scouting assignments will be given until we find a more habitable place to settle. For now, we must do what we can. Leave. Seeing that there is little left to see, you take your leave. The wood under your feet crackle as you exit the vessel. You make your way back to where the tunnel divides. 2 paths you must go. Which do you choose? The left. You move forward into the darkness. I'm going to go left this time. Cautiously make your way through the darkness. Come to split paths. Which way do you choose? Go left again. You move forward into the darkness. Shit. Alright. Forward. Forward into the darkness. Go right. You enter a set of rocks before you. Eyes before you as it appears in the darkness. You grip your body. The pulls about you, you resist as much as you can. You remember the knife you found and struggle to bring it out. With success, you hold the knife and begin to cut away at the appendages that bind you. The room vibrates as you do cut, and the creature immediately leaves you alone. And with that, it takes you a moment to catch your breath, and we're going to go ahead and end off the episode here. Next time on Steam Saturdays, we'll play something else. See you guys later. Eat bananas.